Hello, I'm Dick Carlson, and I knew Jack Whitesell for about 5 decades. My first recollection was of a Reverend Jack Whitesell, who would come to our church in Minnesota either as a special guest speaker or as an attendee at a fellowship convention. In those days, I wondered about a Mrs. Whitesell. This was because he traveled alone. This man was the picture of professionalism, always with a dark suit, necktie, and with every hair in place. His messages were always excellent and filled with scriptural information that let us know that he knew this subject well. Some years later, after I had responded to God's call to ministry and was pastoring a small church in Southern California, I came to know Jack in a very different way. Oh, he was still the professional minister and still had the dark suits and carefully groomed hair, but I began to know him as a fellow pastor who had a genuine interest in what was going on in my ministry. I recall receiving an invitation from Pastor Whitesell for my wife and myself to come to San Francisco to share some details about how our now growing church was getting ready to begin a major facilities enlargement project. He was still the Reverend Jack Whitesell in my mind until that particular weekend visit. The church received us warmly and blessed our church with a very generous offering to help us along the way. We were very pleasantly surprised and blessed. He and Olive invited us to stay in their home and insisted that they give up the master bedroom for us. From that time forward, our relationship moved to a friendship level that lasted until the day that he was called to his heavenly reward. I recall the relaxed time together, sharing some of each other's personal history. As he spoke of their early days of courtship, he said that he asked her one evening, "May I hold your palm, Olive?" To which she replied, "Not on your life, boy." And just like that, the bar was raised to a whole new level in our relationship. Jack's enthusiastic encouragement helped us along our pathway of moving forward in our quest to follow the Lord's guidance in ministry and become a planter of some new churches. He came to each location that we were considering and offered very helpful advice. And again, he and Olive personally encouraged us with financial participation in whatever project we found ourselves engaged in. When we felt that we should found a Bible college, they were again involved in very practical ways. And when his dear Olive left this life for the next, a generous memorial gift came for the purpose of enhancing our growing library. There is a plaque in the library of Southwest Bible College memorializing this gift. My memory bank has many deposits regarding Jack and Olive Whitesell. We so enjoyed attending his 80th birthday celebration and became more acquainted with the wonderful daughters that were no doubt the reason that Olive didn't always accompany Jack in his travels. Jack left us suddenly on May 1st, 2009, May Day. In the business of ship travel on the high seas, there is a distress signal that is universal when a ship is in trouble. That signal is called a Mayday. That emotion was present when news came of Jack's passing. But on further reflection, the other May Day is a day of celebration in many places in the world. And so, both meanings are appropriate for this particular loss of a good friend. My last communication from Jack was an email in which he responded to my email reporting that my wife Ellen, who had had a melanoma scare, was found to be cancer-free. His message was simple and profound. God be praised, he said. I would like to conclude my remarks with those same words. As I consider Reverend Jack Whitesell and the many years of our friendship, I say, God be praised.